Yeah, I was recording videos earlier today. Are you ready for the spooky? I was going through my usual thing. Trilby's notes. Actually, I can't leave. I can't tab away from this without the music stopping. Trilby's notes. It's arguably my favorite of the Chzo mythos. And yes, Trilby does look like Alan Rickman as Severus Snape, which is basically Alan Rickman as anything. Also, they don't know, Rain doesn't know, if they're gonna eat peanuts to the stream. Because they might turn into an elephant during the spooky parts. Corjon Bet says, I've been looking forward to this one. Dudes, the spooks. It's gonna get spooky. Trilby's notes! And, in proper fashion, I gave myself notes. Also, it's mostly text-based. So, unfortunately, you're gonna hear keyboard. I'll leave the tutorial on. And leave the commentary off. I didn't look at the author's commentary for this game. I didn't have a chance to. But I bet there's some interesting stuff in there because there's a lot of Easter eggs. The following documents are taken from the handwritten notes of Trilby, an STP field operative. I couldn't read it fast enough. Game over. Oh, okay. Well, the game is over now. See you later. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Game is over. That's what I thought as I stood and watched Defoe Manor collapse into flaming ash. The ordeal was over. Those 5 days cost us so much. Philip and AJ paid with their lives. They were the fortunate ones. Jim Fowler was expelled from school for truancy, a bright future in tatters. Simone Taylor took to the bottle. Her broadcasts became slurred, her eyes hollow and unwelcoming. She soon vanished from the television screens. As for me, I tried to return to life as a cat burglar, but I've been forever tainted by my time spent in that wretched house. The memories of my possession came back in my nightmares. Every night I was there again in the mansion, staring out through unfamiliar eyes as Philip died by my hands. I became convinced that John Defoe was not at rest, that someday he would return for me. So we did settle on John Defoe, apparently. And became terrified of invisible enemies that I forgot about the tangible ones. Trilby caught! Oh no! 2 slow, miserable years after Defoe Manor. A barrage of truncheon blows taught me a harsh lesson in reality, and I woke up in the kind of filthy cell I assumed would be my new home. Who's John Defoe? The Wielder Man from the 5 Nights at Freddy's, 5 Days a Stranger, yeah. But then he came, the man from the government with a nervous smile, offering an alternative. The STP, Special Talent Project. Hasn't been that much earlier that I would have sooner died than entered an obligation with anyone, least of all the government. Had Defoe Manor changed me that much? Whatever my reasons, I left my past behind and resolved to give myself new superiors nothing to complain about. Spent a year and a half completing assignments, developing contacts, building a reputation, and then the pest caught up. Summer of 1997, I became concerned about Simone Taylor's mental well-being. The papers were reporting her continual breakdown, and she'd become a virtual recluse. I had no idea my appearance would assist or hinder. I had, after all, deliberately allowed her to think me dead. Presumably she knew differently now, after the media coverage of my arrest, but I would expect her to be bitter about my subterfuge. On balance, I decided that a meeting with an old friend would most likely be beneficial. I came to her apartment building on a warm, stormy night and braced myself for the encounter. So arrows to move. Use text, like knock on door and look around. If you see the question mark, you can do things. So the arrow keys are weird. I'm not holding anything. You tap in a direction. If you hold, it works like that. That's holding. Let's nick door. You will steal the whole door, Trilby. You're a thief. You always will be a thief. I had no business with Simone's neighbor. Okay, fine. Knock door. Use F3 to recall commands. Here I was thinking he was some actor. He thief. He is thiefy man. Still no response. The doorman had assured me that Simone was in. Decided it was time to enter by my own methods. There's an inventory. You rarely get to look at it, but you can use tab. We shall pick door. Door. I reasoned that Simone could have been in trouble, and even if she wasn't, then at worst I was only playing to my reputation. I spent a few minutes feverishly picking the lock and let myself in. Okay, how about turn on lights? I already tried the switch when I came in. Didn't work. Oh, great. Open window. I had no intention of filling the room with wind and rain. Fine, Mr. Picky. Open blinds. I pulled open the blind. Oh, now that's lovely. Wasted no time. Thanks for the extra lightning flash. Knock Simone. I couldn't do that just then. Okay, fine. Look body. The body on the floor was undoubtedly Simone. Felt a pulse, and my hands came away stained with long, cold blood. Oh man, I started playing as new game last night. This game is kind of reminding me of it. My fingers traced the outline of a large wound in the torso, slashed by a big weapon, wielded by a big assailant, John Defoe. I called for an ambulance, as futile as it would be, and left before they arrived. Due to me being a clear murder suspect, I was relieved from duty for the week it took for the Ministry of Occultism to inspect the flat and confirm supernatural activity. My superiors simultaneously apologized and assigned me to investigate if there was a connection to the Defoe Manor incident. Hello, Mr. Ellisreal. Welcome to Spooky. We already had a murder. Merely reading those 3 words, capitalized on the front of a loose-leaf file, brought back the nightmares with more intensity than ever. Sure enough, a field agent reported that looters had been discovered and sold several artifacts from the mansion, including a wooden idol that housed John Defoe's soul. He's loose. It's the day he returned. Murder, that's easy. Blame the butler. No butler here. She wasn't rich enough for that. No murders have been reported or committed by anyone who came in contact with the idol. I did not find this reassuring. I quickly advised James Fowler to go into hiding. He was stunned, but agreed. The boy had sense and still respected my judgment. This done, I began following the idol's trail, from the pawn shop ad into possession of a Professor Abed Kahal, an authoritative historian. He had scheduled some kind of antique fair in the Clanbronwyn Hotel, on a small island off the coast of Anglesey, popular with tourists. Assuming the role of a scholar of antiquities, I booked a room. Oh, and writer vibes. Alan Wake remastered. The murder writing. Murder he wrote. 28th of July, 1997. I caught a ferry from Portillicog. I'm not that Welsh. In Anglesey. And arrived around 3 p.m. in Clanbronwyn Island's coastal village. It's like that town with a ridiculously long name. And it ends with go go gach. It seemed like a peaceful hamlet. In defiance of stereotype, the locals were welcoming. Told me no local legends to dissuade me from exploring. The hotel was at the island center, surrounded by the forest. I made my way there on foot. Reading this text is hurting eyes. Yeah, that font kinda hurts. I was greeted by a balding man in a gray anorak. I wondered if I was expected to know who he was. That depends. My name is Lankman. I'm with the Ministry of Occultism. Oh? I thought the Ministry was clear of the fact I was handling this on my own. Maybe there are still people who don't trust you, Mr. Trilby. What? I haven't stolen anything since I joined the STP. Your colorful past is not what concerns my superiors. It hasn't gone unnoticed that your history with the Defoe Wraith influences you psychologically. I'm sure you'll resist it, but it would still cause you to act irrationally. Disobey orders. Everyone just feels a little safer with someone else on the ground. I see. You can rest assured I will endeavor to maintain absolute professionalism on this assignment. Long names aren't really that hard to remember. Nevertheless, I have my orders. I would suggest you keep out of each other's way, then, and pursue separate investigations. I'm sure I don't want to be mixed up in a reunion. Or is it North European surnames? Yeah, same. I watched him disappear from around the corner of the building. I very much doubted Lakeland and I would become friends. The hotel was a warm welcome. The building was certainly well maintained, yet there was something about it that nagged at the back of my mind. I dismissed the sensation. An act, in retrospect, I would come to regret. That painting looks awfully familiar. Good evening, Terence Rowby. I have a reservation. Railby? Really? You here for the antique fair? I'll put you in room 3C on the 3rd floor. Would you like to sign the check-in book? Hello, Bethan. I'm just letting you know I'll be having dinner in my room today. That's absolutely fine, Professor. Then I decided that this was what they called a golden opportunity. Professor Cahal? Yes? I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage. Railby. Terence Railby. We met at Sotheby's a few months ago. The surname of a washed up after a scandal YouTuber Pro Jared. His name is Cannonbauer. Oh, well, I didn't need to know his last name, but cool. The astute reader has already guessed that both Terence Railby and the previous meeting were other fiction. I spent some time studying Cahal's movements and habits. He was, by all accounts, absent-minded. That was something I could use. No thanks, I was hoping I would run into you. I heard interesting things about the items you're showcasing here. You remember I do freelance scouting for some wealthy collectors? Hey, yes. Well, a client of mine has expressed an interest in relics of Defoe Manor in Buckinghamshire. Between you and me, he seems pretty obsessed. What remained of Professor Cahal's suspicion melted away from his expression as the opportunity to make many money entered the conversation. Oh, well, I'm sure I don't want to damage your professional status. Would you like to come up to my room for drinks? Oh, I don't want to impose. No imposition at all. Please, follow me. Ah, thank you. Lead the way, Professor. Oh, we teleported. Good. We don't have to follow him the whole way there. Oh, let me introduce you. This is my professional assistant, Siobhan. She accompanies me on most of it. Siobhan, this is Mr. Rowby. I talk too fast. The other game has, like, the opposite problem. Oh, really? Him and half the people we meet. Shobahan, isn't it? I looked it up. It's Shoban. Siobhan. There's a V in there. Please take a seat, Terry. I'll be right with you. It's Irish. So, interested in ghost stories? The ghost struck me as a forceful personality. Gave the matter some thought before replying. Polar surnames are equally baffling. Like... chicken. Funny thing is I can read that. Not really, I was just scouting on behalf of a client, like I told the professor. You know, it's strange to see someone as young as you in the antiques trade. And come to think of it, I thought only old men dressed like that. Oh, dis. No offense meant, none taken. I didn't catch your last name. It's O'Malley. Siobhan O'Malley. Couldn't be more Irish if it tried, could it? Sorry to keep you waiting, dear boy. Now then, what shall we talk about? Specified topic of conversation. Usually there's several things characters are willing to discuss. For example, try talking about the faux manor. You can do that. Now, the foe in the manor. I understand you came in possession of some artifacts from the faux manor. Ah, yes, indeed, and it was astonishing to me that such artifacts existed at all. The whole place burned to the ground. Did you hear about the Defoe Manor incident? No, please tell me all about it. I was experiencing a sick feeling that I have not felt for quite some time. Last I had felt it while standing at the gates of another country mansion, not long after Defoe Manor, preparing to break in. Maybe I should have learned more than just 2 languages. That's two more than what I know, clearly. Recalling those 5 wretched days changed my stomach with fear, turning what was once the joy of thievery into an exercise in anxiety. Congratulations on being engineer. Trilby's one too. We learned that from last time. That's why he's a thief. Are you going to be a thief too? Visions of welding masks and machetes flooded my mind's eye, worsened them. I heard something on the news. It's been on the news again lately since that Taylor woman died. A lot of silly talk about the paranormal has been around, so the true facts are near unreachable. Who speaks English somewhat above average, I'd assume? You're good enough at it. Yeah, you're very good at it. Not good enough. Good enough is very good. I took them off their hands, purely out of curiosity, of course. So were there any particular items you're interested in? We could ask him about the idol, but how about we ask... Let's ask Siobhan about idol. Does a huge man in a welding mask and a leather apron mean anything to you? Not really, should it? I was asking Siobhan. A small African figurine that my client wants me to look into. Resembling a rather ugly tribal god. I asked Siobhan this, she's just sitting there. Honestly, despite its age, it's virtually valueless. That's what I said, but my client is very insistent. Now, Mr. Elazriel is working a night shift. See you later, then. He's interested in the paranormal. The idol features in some of the more unlikely accounts of Defoe Manor. I don't suppose I should ask questions, but this man of yours seems to want to take it off my hands. I don't have it on me right now. It's being kept in the hotel safe. Perhaps you could work out a deal after the fair? I intend to display it with the other Defoe artifacts. Inwardly, I just wanted to get this mission completed as fast as possible, but I didn't want to risk suspicion or giving off the wrong impression. That'll be fine. So, just out of interest, what else have you picked up from the mansion? Odds and ends, basically. Some silverware, ceramics. Most of a burnt rocking chair. The painting, of course. Painting? Landscape. From a wall in the mansion's lounge. Of little artistic value, but the artist features prominently in Defoe's manor's colorful history. Matthew Defoe? That's him, yes. Bethan, she runs the hotel. She asked if she could display it in the lobby. I knew that looked familiar. I instantly recalled the sick feeling I had when I left the lobby. I had seen the painting, but paid little heed. Oh. Are you all right, Mr. Railby? You've gone rather pale. What? I'm sorry, I was just distracted by my thoughts for a moment. Am I going to have the music in the background again? It's kind of sparse again. Oh! Hey, you want some chicken? What the hell is that? What the hell was what? You were just sitting there and then you were stiff like you've seen a ghost. You didn't see it? See what, Mr. Railby? I'm sorry, I have to go. Something's wrong. What in dude's name? Oh well, we won't keep you then. I'll see you later, maybe? My head was spinning and a sudden nausea churned in my gut. The world seemed to be pulsating, the corners of the room wavering like a heat haze. I'm going out to get some pizza. You may say I've imagined these things, but I thought that might have been the case. Oh hey, we have some background noise at least. Is I going out of my mind? Was the hotel really changing, or some nightmarish twin? Was I the only one who could see it? If I was hallucinating, it was much too complex. The floor beneath my feet was real enough. The horrendous stench of rotting flesh that reached my nostrils could not have been conjured by my imagination. I decided I had to find Defoe's idol as soon as possible. If not that, then at least a painting Chahal had mentioned. I was convinced that some connection lay between Defoe Manor and the sudden madness. So, welcome to the Black Lodge. Open door. Okay, that's no good. Can we look out the window? Cracked and blood-stained. The wooden boards blocked the view, apparently nailed haphazardly from the outside. He underestimates the amount of lies their brain can tell you. So what a lovely hotel! I give this a 5 out of 10. Something bad happened here, says Corjan Bet. I see something in the back. Either that's... Okay, that's lights. I thought there was like some kind of image in the background. Bring her back. Maybe I don't want to, Mr. Spooky Man. 10 out of 10 would be imprisoned in another dimension again. Or is this real life? And the other thing was just fantasy. And Trilby's in a crazy institution somewhere. Or maybe it's an SCP. I would like to run, but this is as fast as Trilby can walk. Also, it's difficult to stop. You have to, like, tap it. Stairwells built from old concrete. But that's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at corpse. The corpse. Young, muscular man, I hazarded. Was wearing something of an old-fashioned military uniform. More to the point, his head was missing, and his hands were worn down to bloody wads of flesh and bone. I noticed a collection of handwritten pages. Look, pages. Entries from a diary. July 18th. Felicia and I took shelter from the storm in a decrepit old hotel in the forest. It seemed to be completely deserted. So we bedded down on the floor of the lobby for the night. It's so peaceful here. July 19th. Exploring the hotel, it's become increasingly clear this place is not as innocent as it first seemed. We found ancient corpses and evidence of terrible deeds in several of the rooms. The storm is cleared and we intend to leave as soon as possible. Something tells me they didn't. The 20th. I'm certain that devilry is at work. Every path we take leads us back to the hotel. We spent a whole day trying roots. Felicity keeps on talking about a demon she fancies she saw in the hotel kitchen. 21st, she's dead. I was too late to save her. I saw her murder her, just like she did. Maybe I'll be next. I'm beginning to understand. 23rd, the murderous figure in black, one whose body is savagely stretched out to a mockery of form, is not the architect of this nightmare. Rather, this is the work of the hideous lord of the Forbidden Lands. Gods forgive me. 25th. I built a shrine for my captor in the lobby in an attempt to appease it. Nothing changed. I have no more food. The horror is starting to affect my mind. Yeah, build a shrine to him, then he'll let you go. 28th. I'm certain my mind is going. I imagined for the moment that the hotel changed. Became finely decorated and welcoming as it was been in the past. I blinked and it returned back to its normal, hateful self. Next few pages are blotted with blood. The first, what is her relationship with the disgusting beast? Is he a servant or a prisoner? Sometimes he acts alone, sometimes at the behest of a higher power. What does he want from me? He's after me. I must have done something wrong. It hurts. That was the last readable entry. I decided not to take them with me. They were covered with blood. Good call, Trilby. Lobby 2 had been tainted. The painting I sought was absent. Presumably it only existed in the hotel's normal form. If that was the case, I needed to find a way back there, dispel the hallucination, if this truly wasn't on my mind. At this stage, I'm beginning to wonder if this really is John Defoe's doing. It doesn't seem his style somehow. For one thing, there's no welding masks. What other evil could be the culprit? High five, skeleton? Yeah, high five the skeleton. Oh, you British people, you don't know what's what. Look, skeleton. Someone had been tied down to an altar, flayed, and had their innards removed. Looks of horrible claw marks and broken fingernails. They had been alive, at least partway through the procedure. Welcome to the Hotel Clan Brunwyn. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely face. Oh, well, at least the arcade machine works. Alternative hotel bar had been like the real one at some point in the past, but had fallen to disarray and appears to be used for very sinister purposes. Look posters. Look posers. You the poser. Yes, you do. You took in English, I'm sure. Posters. Left poster is a kind of portrait of the strange masked figured. The middle poster is blank, the third is smashed. Play a game. Even if it wasn't fully working order, I had better things I could have been doing. Play Pikmin 4. I don't understand the word Pikmin. Oh, Trilby. This was made in 2007, by the way, which is like... Oh wait, 2006? It was 1 year before Trilby, The Art of Theft. Also by Yahtzee. And you could play that game. You know what? Play Trilby, The Art of Theft. I don't understand the word theft. Are you sure? That would explain some things, Trilby. Like bar. Keeping with the alternate hotel's theme, the furniture looks like someone had been hurled against them with absolutely fatal force. Lying in the bar in a pool of gore was some long-nosed pliers. I could take those. Take the pliers. You're rusty but functional. Did you see? There's yellow on the stools to show you, hey, look at the bar. Look at the bar. There might be bullets. What a lovely room of death. Probably been a dining room, judging by the number of tables. There's a total of 4 exits. I just came out of one. Why is there an arrow pointing to that door? Like meat. An arrangement of uncooked meat with ribs sticking out of the center. Seemed to be attracting insects beautifully. I tried not to think about what kind of meat it was. I have a great idea. Take meat. I tore off a lump of meat to take it with me. If I came up against something hostile and carnivorous in this place, it would help to have something other than myself to offer it. So that's just in our pockets now. Lump of meat. Pam door. The doors refuse to open. Can we just stop whispering for 1 second? I want to look at this. I want to high-five the skeleton. Come on. The body had been completely flayed and still glistened wetly with blood. The hands and one of the feet were held in place with 6-inch nails. Well, not even 9-inch nails? Okay. And skeleton. Or nails. Either could work. Hey, what are you messing with my skeleton for? Rude! It took me hours to put that skeleton up. What a great bathroom this is. The gloomy lavatories were in a state of advanced disrepair. One of the cubicle doors were hanging off its hinges, and the mirror above the counter was broken. Use bathroom. Trilby, you don't understand a lot of things. This toilet. Even if I had the inclination, I very much doubted the plumbing still worked. Pee. I don't understand the word pee. I don't understand the word poo-poo. Fine. Look, sink. Right sink was full of blood. The left was merely dirty. That's not what I wanted to look there. Look, package. There's a package on it. Contrary to everything else in the hotel, it was completely clean. Slightly alarmingly, it was addressed to me. Take package. I took the envelope. It was strangely bulky and tore it open. A white pill bottle and a note fell onto my hand. I enclosed the note with this report. If you're reading this, then you too have seen the hotel change. At present, I have no idea if the alternative hotel is a part of the ethereal realm or some kind of construct. A pocket dimension. There's a definite correlation between one's level of agitation and one's tendency to reality shift. Fear is your enemy. It leaves you shining like a beacon for whatever evil brought us to this place. Enclosed is a bottle of tranquilizers and my personal first aid kit. If you find yourself shifting to the other place, take a pill and try to calm down. And the real hotel will return. Don't let it concern you. I am researching the phenomenon. Your task is to find the foe. Good luck, Ancient Lakeman. Lakeman's letter raised more questions than it answered. I pocketed the pill bottle. So we got pill bottles. We got pills. We got unlimited pills, by the way. Because there's a Dark World thing going on here. I felt the anxiety lift from the pit of my stomach, and my dismal surroundings seemed to feel less imposing. Then I felt that strange sensation again, lightheadedness and detachment from the world. Yay! We're back to normal! Yay! No meat! And less whispering. Open door. Ah, it's nice and clean in here. Look, posters. Vintage advertisements of 3 brands of drink decorated the wall. They were originals. They were probably quite valuable. Now we can play Trilby of the Art of Theft. Oh, I know. It's the light world. I don't understand the word law. That's why you're not an archaeologist. Oh boy, the painting! Look, painting. If I hear unlimited, I ask, can I pocket it and sell back home? Tranquilizers? Yeah, you could probably make a pretty penny. I was frankly astonished that Matthew Defoe's painting has survived the immolation of Defoe Manor. I stared at it. It seemed that the surrounding room began to blur until only the painting was in focus. I fancied I could hear the cracks and the whispers of Defoe Manor's hallways. I felt a bizarre urge to reach out and touch the painting. Sure, why not? Touch. That didn't make sense to me. You know you want to. I could do that just then. Okay, fine. Touch painting. I wasn't close enough. How about now? Your nose is against it. Touch the PECK and painting. As I stepped closer, I could feel sound becoming muffled and my head spinning as I was about to faint. My hand, as if pulled by an invisible string, reached out and towards the clumsy brushstrokes. July 28th, 1821, Defoe Manor. Matthew Defoe is 15 years old today. He's excitingly putting the finishing touches on his painting, which his father commented on encouragingly. First time he's ever been supportive of Matthew's artistic leanings. Matthew is now convinced that his father is lifting from the mysterious depression that has plagued him as long as either of them can remember. Now he intends to make the painting absolutely perfect before showing it again. Mr. Matthew, Sir Roderick has requested your presence in the trophy room. Thank you, James. Very good, James. I'm going to be turning in for the night, Master. That's what he said. You deserve this, Trilby. What possessed you to touch anything from that mansion? Enter, a chocobo in armor. This is my friend, Mr. Smith. He's an expert on African tribal art. Well, just a scholar. Hardly even that, just someone with an interest in the subject. And he has offered to assess the figurine I brought back from my travels. I wasn't aware you had a family, Sir Roderick. Is your wife home, too? Regrettably, Belinda is no longer with us. Oh, I'm sorry. Quite all right, you shouldn't have known. She succumbed to an illness shortly after Matthew was born. I finished the painting I showed you, Father. Oh, good. Well, Mr. Smythe, what do you think of the piece? I think it's Smythe. Intriguing little puzzler, actually. Design is reminiscent of a few Central African tribal gods I'm aware of. But to be honest, I've never seen anything like this before. May I ask you how you've acquired it? I'm glad you asked. It was 20 years ago. I was a younger man, first travels to the Dark Continent. We were traveling along the west coast when our bearer spotted a ship that had run aground. An English clipper named the Sea Angel, and a short exploration revealed that every single crewman had just disappeared. Of course, we immediately sent a letter to the nearest embassy to report the finding. The point is, it was on the lowest deck of the ship that I found this very figurine you see here today. What an extraordinary tale. How do you account for there being an African tribal carving on a British vessel? Slavery? It wasn't a slave trading vessel, but there must have been a Negro on the crew. It was 1810, he was allowed to say that. A possible mystery of mine. I was hoping you could shed a little light on the matter. Plus he's kind of racist and rude, so he can get away with it. and began to recount the strange events that surrounded this artifact. Care for a glass of brandy? Thank you, that would be most kind. Matthew fetched a brandy from the kitchen and some glasses. Oh, you weren't going to chug the bottle as usual? Okay. I see some familiar objects here. The manor's kitchen was small and sparsely furnished, in contrast to the wealth of the house as a whole. The sideboard was the only furniture, a large wooden table and narrow drinks cabinet in the corner. I see an apron. A tough, well-used brown leather apron. Matthew wondered which member of the staff had been using it. And those knives. A selection of knives were arranged conveniently above the sideboard. One of them was Sir Roderick's old jungle machete, which he kept there as a joke. Now that's a knife! Bloody hell, that's a knife! Yeah, I'm gonna flay some kangaroos with that. The glasses. Oh! Knife! You haven't tried to speak with me in a while. Who dat? I did another painting today. I showed it to Father, but he said it was promising. I keep trying to tell him about you, but he never listened. How long were John's chains? Long enough! He's shackled in the far corner. Hey, do you want to see my painting? Bang bang. Just not sure how to get it through the door. Open door. Dad will never know. Door is locked as always, but there's a gap. Okay. I'm pushing the painting under the door, okay? HMS, bad idea coming into dock. How dare you, sir! You intrude on my hospitality and insult my judgment! That's Father. Get out of my house, you worm! Wow, he's got some pipes on him if he could reach all the way across the house. Fold and shove. Talk door. I'm going to see what's going on with Father. Bang bang. It's cute. He talks and knocks. Father! What happened? I heard shouting. That old fool told me some rubbish about my figurine. Said the only tribe that could have come from has all died in slavery years ago. Actually had the nerve of accusing me of buying from a forger. I'm sorry, Father. What are you apologizing for? Where's that damn brandy? I'm gonna get angry drunk up in here. Give it to me. I'll go back to my room, Father. Show me your painting. Father? I said you had a painting. Show it to me. I can't, Father. And why not? Because... Come on, why not? Out with it. I gave it to the boy behind the door. I see. Father? Go to your room, boy. I have to write in my diary entry. Yes, Father. Surely nothing bad's gonna come out of that. Clearly, no. An hour of silence passed, and Matthew grew concerned. We all know what happens next. He was here for 5 days. Yeah. The most disturbing thing had been Sir Roderick's reaction to Matthew, mentioning the boy behind the door. In the past, raising this usually provoked a violent rage or an instant flat denial. Matthew wondered what sort of anxiety was going through his mother's mind. The other story. Father, what are you doing? The door is open. The door is open. The apron is missing. Matthew was confused by his own reluctance. He longed to see what was beyond his door, but when given the chance, he was struck with fear. Hi, sorry I'm late, says Joshua. You just missed some spooky things, but don't worry, there's plenty of more spooky going on here. Speaking of which, I should have done this the moment you came into this world, demon child. May God forgive me for having a part in your creation. He's just a jungle boy, Father. What are you doing? Do you see what have you done? I didn't want him to see this. You see what you've done! Father, no! Father! Father! Oh! Hey! Who that? Boo! Ah! Apologies, dear boy, I couldn't resist. You look so lost in that painting, I didn't even think you saw me come in. What? Is everything alright, Terry? Yes, everything's fine. New demon, who dis? Just for a moment, I thought I saw... Never mind. Siobhan, I've been talking about you after you ran out of the room. It said you seemed like something was making you terribly anxious. Frankly, I think that's still the case. It's okay. Really, I am. Well, if you're sure. I was certain my mind was not playing tricks on me. I'd been back there in Defoe Manor, looking through the eyes of Matthew Defoe. I'd seen the events that created John Defoe. I saw his death at the hand of Sir Roderick. The terrible, violent end that would bring about as that awful wraith. But somehow, seeing that event, it was clear to me there was more to this than the ghost of one retarded youth. There had been something very wrong about that idol, even before it was used to destroy John Defoe. A name stood out in my memory, the Sea Angel. Now I had a lead. Professor, you know anything about the ship called the Sea Angel? You know, it's funny you should mention that name. There's a really old wooden chisel among the Defoe Manor artifacts. The word Sea Angel, it's carved into the handle. That's convenient. Out on display in the convention hall next to the dining room. What's this all about, Terry? It's nothing. A little side project my clients want me to get into. Thank you for your help. No problem. Take care of yourself. Now there's something on that painting. Take page. A page from a religious book I wasn't familiar with. I'll include it with these notes. Victim 5. The child. The fifth man who decided judgment was the child, whose father held the carving of the slave. The prince came to him, and at once rightly pleased with what he found, for the house of the child and his father already knew well the name of the king. As the prince watched, the child was thrown down by his father and broken with the wood of the prince's soul. But as the child's body, mind, and soul began to drift apart, the prince held them together and said, You are the child, and to you I grant power. For I see in you the potential that I will grant my father, the king, his greatest wish. You shall be not of the land of technology, nor the realm of magic, but of both, and you shall form the bridge. And cross the bridge, the king shall come and bring his message to the men of technology. Through you, child, the bridge will come, and thus I name you the Bridge Keeper. Do you know the Keymaster? We will call Gozer. The prince touched the child, and he was the Bridge Keeper, and his 3 aspects were granted power, so that his soul would join with the prince's soul in the wood of the tree. The Bridge Keeper rose up and threw down his father and threw down his brother, and truly did they know the name of the king. And into the house the father went the body and the mind of the Bridge Keeper. So that house burned down, so those things are kaput, right? Also, there's something new on the table. There's a matchbook. Only 1 match left. I took it anyway. So we're back to non-spooky. We're back to non-spooky. This must be the convention floor. Open door. Dead bolted. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do some thievery, huh? Also, he says something about the idol. Open door. I like how he has a little Trilby hat next to his what did I do next? Locked, you say? How about pick door? I've encountered stronger locks in my lifetime. I picked it open with 10 minutes. Open door. Time to loot the hotel. Look, books. Hotel maintenance, paperwork, and correspondence. Okay. Spooky seeped into the non-spooky plane. That's how the matches got there? From the match universe? Looks safe. This is where he's holding that idol. That's what he said. Open safe. I hadn't had to cause to crack safes for quite some time, but my hands instantly went into automatic. The thieving mindset returning like an old friend. I use reliable talent to open the safe. The safe opened, and my nostalgia faded into puzzlement when I found it empty. Just for once, I'd like to crack a safe that actually contains something. Is that so much to ask? Yeah, Trilby. You're a thief. Safes are supposed to keep you out. You're a rogue. Maybe a mastermind rogue. The Digimon was like right underneath the microphone, so I just tossed it onto the bed. What year was this? 1997? Trilby probably had one. Keeps him occupied. So let's check out some of these other floors. Obviously, we can't go into any of these, do we? Yeah, they're locked. Unless... pick door. Had no business breaking into a room of someone I didn't know. Oh, so if it was Siobhan's room, you'd be okay with picking that lock, huh? This door is new. Colored differently than the others. Emergency fire escape. Do not attempt to force. In the event of a fire, door will unlock automatically. That looks like a fire detector up there. Use matches on fire detector. I said fire detector. What is that? A sensor? It's a heat sensor. On sensor. There we go. Check to my barbecue. That ghost awfully likes food. Open door. Pushed my way through the door and descended the fire escape. Lovely! We went to Spooky Land. Look. No grass or plant life remained in the yard. The floor was well trodden and muddy blood splatters leading to some kind of sacrificial altar. Look, altar. Blood was pooled, evidence of blasphemous rituals. An occult symbol was carved into the surface. 4 equilateral triangles, arranged into a star, contained against the one large circle. Okay, there doesn't seem to be much here, because I can't go back from here. Take pill. Thank you. This looks a lot nicer. In fact, I feel like saving. PECK. Look, table. Probably used for garden maintenance, tool storage, that's kind of saying. Iron crowbar is stored at the time. Take crowbar. Trilby, you're literally right there. Take crowbar. Thank you. Trilby, walk past it. Use ladder. Okay, climb ladder. Use ladder, climb ladder, same thing. Fun fact, normally you have to leave the room before the pills take effect, but in this case that's impossible. Well, also the tutorial part of using the pills. We also instantly teleported to the light world Strangely enough, when I go to the Dark World, I don't turn into a rabbit. Usually that happens to adventurers. So maybe we could crowbar the conference floor open. Use crowbar on door. Let's do some property damage. It hurts. What hurts? It hurts. We just triggered an Easter egg. What is hurting? It hurts, 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 it hurts. Sorry to hear that. I don't understand the word sorry. Trilby is lucky he doesn't turn into a hat. That would be his life. That would be his Dark World form. That's his soul. His hat. Well, we're back in the spooky lands. What an elaborate deadbolt. Look, door. One that's been boarded up. Use crowbar on door. It broke! Oh. Use crowbar on boards. There we go. Now it broke. Open door. Exposition hall, they say. Okay, but what's worse is being turned into an LTT bunny or a PECK and Umbreon. Well, at least Umbreon, you got like cool dark abilities and everything tastes like anus. So I guess maybe the bunny. Judging by the smell, this room has probably not been ventured into for years. Corpses dangled from the ceiling, left to rot by some warped interior decorator. High five all the skeletons. You don't understand the word high. Maybe if I say high five. Okay, fine. Click symbol. 4 triangles and a square. Evidence of a paganistic ritual. But we don't know of what. Open door. So, we need pills. Now, like Corey John Bett mentioned, you gotta kind of transfer into a room most of the time. There we go. I liked it better when there was corpses. Chahal's Antique Show. As sparse as a small venue would indicate. Who's going to come to this anyway? Is he making money off of this? How's this working? Charred rocking chair is his centerpiece. Also soda. Like soda. A bottle of Speedy Cola. Brand of highly caffeinated soft drink. Someone must have decided it was beyond their limits of constitution. Just like a little sign or a shield or something. Look, shield. Okay, it must be a sign. Ancient shingle from an establishment called the Unicorn. That's no relevance. Look, plates. A hunk of rancid meat torn roughly from the meal of the dining room. I was determined not to think about what kind of meat it was. What are you looking at, Trilby? I wanted to look at those plates. Look, chair. An involuntary shudder went through me when recognition dawned. It was the same chair from the living room in Defoe Manor. The room I opted to sleep in for those 5 days. Where I was a stranger. Look, tools. Very old make of chisel, rusted and probably very fragile. It had the word Sea Angel. I found myself inexplicably drawn to the artifacts. My fingertips were already extending towards it. Let's touch the chisel. A loud buzzing played in my ears, and my vision began to cloud as I reached over and laid my hand upon the tool. Somewhere in the Atlantic, July 25th, 1789. We're going back in time. but he's an island boy. Mabuda had been a great warrior. In battle, his skill was thought unmatched. He had great respect, a great house, a slew of beautiful women, and children to make any father proud. But through just one mistake, it had all been turned away. His mistake was standing by his beloved king when the invaders from the coastal kingdom arrived. Gotta get back to the past. Trilby. Samurai Trilby. Now his great house was in ruin, his women... Yep, and his children murdered. Mabuda, worst fate of all. Sold to the white men in exchange for weapons. Shackled with his fellows in the hold of a slave ship. Mabuda was strong. Perhaps he could have lived as a slave. But then came the sickness. Simple fever, no doubt be gone by the next day, but the white men took no chances and threw him overboard. Wacha! For days he drifted, waiting for the black cloud of death to descend. He sought only the embrace of the deep, a welcome end to a life betrayed. But the end did not come then. Coming around, Captain. Voices unfamiliar, speaking an unfamiliar language. Mabuda was suddenly terrified that the slavers returned. But he was as weak as a newborn and couldn't move or speak. Looks like we picked him up just in time. Don't know how long he's been drifting out here, but can't have lasted much longer. Good Lord. Look upon it, men, the greatest evidence we have of humanity's inherent evil. Never forget that, men. Sailors such as you as I did this, left that poor wretch to die. Slavers ain't sailors like you and I, Captain. No. I do not know how those devils can have the audacity to still call themselves human. Today there is no pride in being an Englishman. Find our new passengers some quarters, make them comfortable. Passenger, Captain? Every innocent who sets foot on my ship is a free man. Is there something about this policy you find questionable? Not at all, Captain. These were not the slavers. The ship was different, less crowded with terrified black faces. There were anger in the voices of the white men, but not at him. Still frightened, but reassured, he passed out. We're playing Mabuda. To have been rescued by the ship of these good white men has been a fantastic stroke of good fortune. He decided it has been the will of the gods he would survive, and proper thanks would be in order. An idol. That was the answer. If he could just find some suitable wood and a sharp blade, he could carve the finest idol of his life. Gotta find some tools. Africa counts as an island, right? Look, carpenter. Look, man. Several crewmen tending to the ship scattered around the deck. Despite the language barrier, Mabuda could only tell they were friendly and cordial. Yeah, but I would like to ask him about his tools. Ask for tools. Mabuda was talking to himself. We can't really talk to him. He doesn't speak Mabuda. Find tools. Right there, laddie? Oh, I see. You want something to carve with. Here. The sailor handed him a sharp, brand new workman's chisel. Nice. Bring it back when you're finished with it. I don't understand your crazy alien moon talk, but I got a chisel now. Now I gotta find some wood. Climb ladder. Mabuda needed to move closer to the ladder, says Trilby's notes. O'Malley shipping. Reed crate. Large crate was sitting in the shaft of light. Letters stenciled that Mabuda could not recognize. cheaply made with poor quality nails, and some of the boards looked like they were ready to fall off. Quality! Use chisel on boards. With the chisel and the wood of the crate, Mabuto could finally make his offering. After several hours, Mabuto was very pleased with the result. Fine rendition of his kingdom's god of fertility and good fortune. So it's got big old jumblies, don't it? Got big old ones. Huge tracts of land. I kind of see them there. Take idle. Mabuto decided it was fine where it was. No need to move it. No need to move it, move it. Climb ladder. Dude, this guy works fast. Look. It hurts. Run. Swim. I don't understand the word swim. Swim away. The prince is here. I don't understand the word H. It hurts. Pretty good time to save. Are you sure? It hurts. Got 50 more rounds in this single-shot musket. Oh, the captain! Run for it, Mabuto! That wasn't an Easter egg, by the way. That was you can't save there. The vision faded, and I felt myself being hurled forcefully towards the present day. And I have a massive headache. The tall, thin creature with that black-clad ghoul. What's the significance to my predicament? Why did it appear again and again throughout history to spread death and horror? There's no connection to the idol shape, or Mabuto's tribal deities. The tall man was no fertility god. He doesn't have the huge jumblies. Must have been connected to the wood of that crate somehow. There's been a name on the crate. Mabuto wasn't able to read it, but I, looking through his eyes, had O'Malley Shipping. Could the owner be an ancestor of Siobhan? Fun fact, the game accepts synonyms tall man, monster, and demon for the prince. He's all those things, yes. I resolved to discuss this with Siobhan at the earliest opportunity. And paper. Take paper. Victim 4, the slave. The fourth man who decided judgment was a slave, who had not been brought Frehorn's message, and who tormented the wood that was the prince's soul with a sharpened blade. The prince came to him and struck the slave down, and he knew the name of the king. The prince said, "Not one of your household shall I leave alive, slave. For thrice now I have brought my warning, and any who still fail to heed shall be named a fool, and judged most unworthy in our sight." Someone does not like messing with wood. Finally, Oh, it's you, Terry. I thought you might have been the serving staff, at least. That's not the kitchen. Talk to it about O'Malley Shipping. Do you know anything about Siobhan's family tree, Abed? Specifically, whether or not they ran a shipping company in the late 18th century? What on earth makes you think I would know that? I really don't know. I thought I'd ask. Why don't you ask Siobhan? Something. Okay, I thought he would know at least something. I wonder where Siobhan is, anyway. Is she in the bar? There's only one possible Irish O'Malley family, clearly. Seriously, time to save. Okay, save. Island boy. There we go. Ah, she is here. Have you seen any of the hotel's staff anywhere? I haven't. Maybe they go to bed early in these parts. So, about your family. To Siobhan about O'Malley Shipping. What, did I spell that wrong? O'Malley Shipping. There's nobody else here. There we go. Okay, good. You know anything about the history of your family? I wouldn't be much of a history student if I didn't, now would I? I'm researching my family tree. It was part of my diploma. That's ideal. I appreciate this may sound like a odd question, but trust me when I say it's important. Did your family run a shipping company in the 18th century? That's an odd question. I do remember reading something about O'Malley shipping. I have to check my notes. I left them in my book bag. You meet me in my room about 5 minutes. I'm in 2A, next to a bed. Well, certainly there should be next to a bed. I would talk to the hotel otherwise. Because clearly you're being overcharged for that room. So we gotta head to 2A. So we could ask her about the shipping. And then we touch Shaban or something, and the spooky man comes out. Gives us a thumbs up, and he's like, hey. Then he leaves. Game over. Open door. Come in, please, Terry. I just opened the door. Do you mind? Must you always get down to business? She's sitting on the bed, Terry. Take the hint. How are you feeling? We were a little worried about you. I've seen these moments of illness. Leisure suit Terry. What do you want to talk about? Defoe Manor. Oh. Kind of interests me. I was really into the media coverage of the incident at the time. Client of yours, the one who wants the figurine, what does he know about it? He has some interest in the occult, and there's some nonsense story going around about it. Something about an idol being a vessel for an evil ghost. I wasn't really paying attention. Really? I don't remember hearing about that in any of the reports. No, you wouldn't have. It wasn't widely. Have you heard about the story that Trilby was in that house? I could feel cold sweat drooling down my spine. What sense of words there? Every fiber of my being was concentrating on not giving any outward signs of alarm as Siobhan spoke about secret name with wide-eyed enthusiasm. No one believes it, but Simone Taylor insisted it was true right up until, well, we know. She says he saved her from the house. I think that's a little far-fetched. That's exactly what Abbott said. He says that a ghost is one thing, but throwing Trilby into it just makes it seem silly. Truth be told, I don't think Abbott believes in Trilby any more than he does ghosts. He's so grounded in reality. A sensible attitude. Have you always been an antique dealer? Oh. Siobhan, please. I came here to talk about... Let me put that another way. Have you ever even been an antique dealer? I knew it. The outfit, the hat, Terry Railby. You're him. You're in Defoe Manor. I know you've come to finish off the ghost. Siobhan, I always knew there was something else in this world. There was something better, more glamorous just below the surface. It's not glamorous. No, it isn't. The spooky man wants to kill me. Listen to me. There's nothing glamorous about what I do. I live in shadows that threaten to consume me every single day. And if you pursue this any further, you're going to walk straight into one. What are you talking about? There's something extremely dangerous in the hotel. I don't know what it is, but... Hey, you didn't even get to first base with her. No! Save. I was a little too concerned about my predicament to do that. Well, it's a good thing I saved. Hi. High five the tall man. I didn't understand the word high. Take tall man for beers. I doubt that would have stopped such a creature. Why? Offer pizza to tall man. I don't understand the word pizza. Oh! He didn't like pizza! So that's one of the few deaths he could have in the game. Trilby remains missing in action. Okay. Island boy. Unfortunately, I didn't save as often, but luckily I could just mash. About O'Malley shipping. Just make sure you type it right. One of those rare times in an adventure game where violence is the answer. Since when did Trilby ever do a violence? He's not wearing his criminal suit from Trilby the Art of Theft. He can't do a violence. So, note to self, save more often, or the spooky man is going to stick his hand in your spine the hard way. Damn, that guy is strong. Why does he need that crazy looking polearm thing anyway? Open door. Stuff and things. Trilby. Spooky man. Spooky jump scare. Here he is. You didn't even make the second base, dude. See, what do I have to do here? Kick. Tall man. Da. Oh. Aren't you glad I paid that? I said to save? Siobhan was out cold, but uninjured. She probably would be safe on her bed while I continued my investigation. She'd be safe on a bed. Loot bag. You understand loot. Open bag. Under the circumstances, Siobhan probably wouldn't mind. If we would be playing buff dudes, violence would be an answer much more often. Well, he does have that kangaroo kick. Out cold, uninjured, pick one. Just a very slight chance of serious brain damage. Few textbooks, half-empty water bottle, a large folder marked O'Malley family history. This I decided was my quarry. I flipped through the pages until I reached information relevant to the 18th century. Read my discoveries out loud. Liverpool-based O'Malley Shipping Company ran for 3 generations of the family. Why am I reading this out loud? Went out of business when one of the clippers drove the company to bankruptcy. Owner of the time, Jacob O'Malley, placed the blame somewhat irrationally on a shipping crate, which the family legend alleged to be haunted, that had been on the ship at the time. Numerous tales of bizarre events surrounding that crate, and the story of the crate's origin is no less mysterious. What, a haunted crate? It goes, this strange young man came to a carpenter's in Liverpool dockyards with a very expensive-looking harpsichord and insisted it be smashed up and the wood used for whatever purpose the carpenter desired. Harpsichord? He refused to leave until the instrument had been utterly broken into its component parts in front of his eyes, and the wood sent into crates for O'Malley shipping. When pressed for a name, the man identified himself as one Jack Frehorn. Frehorn? I heard that name before. July 28th, 1778. Blue Dragon says meow. The death music is actually pretty cool. I like the music in this game. I wish it would play more often. What does it look like? Looks like a virginal. A harpsichord, actually, in the Flemish style. Quite old. Very expensive, Douglas. I suppose he'll be grateful that something is distracting you from the occult for once. Oh, I fear you may be speaking too soon, my friend. Oh, God, I should have known. You and your silly obsession. So what devilry inhabits this magnificent instrument? The instrument as a whole is, most part, untainted by the ethereal realm. But its keys are what spark my interest. Unusually, they've been carved from a centuries-old English oak. And that's the interesting part. I will not be disheartened by that sharp tongue of yours. The wood has gone through many incarnations before being incorporated into this device. Items of furniture, building material. In fact, just over 200 years ago, it was part of a wall. A wall of a certain inn on a well-traveled road in Wales, the Unicorn. I'm so pleased you remember. I could hardly forget it, the way you have been obsessing quite heartily over it as of late. Your correspondence persists in filling your head with rubbish about ghosts and demons. I count myself very lucky to have tracked down even a small piece of that hostelry. I now already told you some of the wonderful stories attached to it. And this instrument had its fair share of mysterious happenings. Usual batch of strange noises, sudden madness, inexplicable deaths. See some sense, my friend. This curiosity of yours for all things ungodly, no doubt, already befouled your immortal soul. You're a fine fellow, Wilbur, but you have not a drop of romance in your body. Now stop browbeating me for inquiring my mind, and let us take dinner. Nobody looks under the piano notes. There might be pentagrams under there. Well, pentagrams are druidic. Keep that in mind. That night, Jack was stirred from his bed by the sound of music emanating from his new instrument. His first thought was anger, mostly because the harpsichord was an antique and never intended to be played. But then he listened to the haunting melancholy tune, and he felt his stomach roll inexplicably with fear. Who's down there? Wilbur, is that you? Go back to bed. Go back a bed. Look table. Covered untidily with letters, notes, and papers he's been studying lately. A flintlock pistol given to Jack by his father lay gathering dust on top of a pile of correspondence. Get gun. Is it loaded? Is there gunpowder in it? That sounds familiar. It's the Princess theme. Oh, that's just a coincidence. What is going on down there? Sparsely furnished room below Jack's bedroom was dominated now by his new harpsichord. The same instrument was now being tormented with the spindly hands of an emaciated intruder. Trilby sure has some words. Talk tall, man. Jack knew that any attempt to interact with the creature would spell disaster. For tall man, brewski. Okay, fine. Shoot the tall man! Slay him! You won't take me, demon! Who was that? Wilbur? No. Oh God, no! I could have sworn! You. I know you. You have... Oh God. Please forgive me, your majesty, for my transgressions. Coward. I'm a worthless, craven fool. Not worth a second of your precious time. I beg you, spare me. I'll redeem myself for my offense. I'll be yours forever, my body, my mind, and soul. Okay, we're gonna go out for some pizzas later. Thank you, my lord. Thank you. Huh, I didn't have to touch anything that had to do with the thing to get that one. That's weird. Jack Frehorn that went on to form a bizarre cult. A depraved group of paganist worshippers who was spoken of with such derision from conventional society. As to why he surrendered, keep in mind that the gun only holds one bullet. He's unarmed now. It'll take 5 minutes to reload. Damn it, demons, stop suddenly switching places with people. Also, where's Shaban? My latest flashback, my knowledge of the history of the cursed wood gained another step. Before the crate, it had been a harpsichord. Sometime before the harpsichord, it had been part of some kind of hostelry. Inn called the Unicorn. Why did that ring a bell somewhere in my recent memory? I'd definitely seen something in the Clan Bronwyn Hotel that linked to the place, but where? Shaban? Shaban's missing. Okay. Take paper. What are they going to say this time? Victim 3, Frehorn. The third man who desired judgment was Frehorn, who had bought from those who made luxuries with the wood that was the prince's soul. The prince came and struck down the lover of Frehorn. Oh my. And Frehorn knew the name of the king. Frehorn said, I know you now, O prince, who was the arrogant man. And I anticipate your wish, and I'll devote myself to spreading the teachings you have brought me, and the love for our king. And the prince was satisfied, and Frehorn called all those who would listen, and they formed the Order of Blessed Agonies. They would work to redeem the follies of men of technology. Well, there was weirder ways to make a religion. You could just, like, read papers you put in a hat. Now it's kinda hazy, because I'm not quite sure where to go next, so I'm gonna check ArmoredChocobo's notes. Okay, I know where to go now. This is definitely a longer, more involved game than 5 Days a Stranger. Oh no, the spooky hotel! Take pills. I took another pill and waited for the anxiety to lift, but it did not! Uh-oh. To my unending concern, I realized the decay of the alternative hotel had spread either to me or the pills, and it no longer worked. I had to find a way to restore their effect, or at least another method of calming myself. I wonder what outside looked like. Open door. Cluboni Hotel. I don't think I ever looked at the heads. 2 heads on the right were decaying down to their skulls. The other one is very fresh. Cluboni Hell. Let's just roam out into the wasted countryside. Oh. If you ever want to jump the hell instantly, you could drink the cola. Really? I didn't realize that one. I'll keep that in mind. There are a few other Easter eggs I would like to try to trigger. There's a couple of them. Somewhere to the west, I heard the familiar sound of a door being unlocked. Who? Caffeine causes the jitters. Lakeman? Okay, there's no way Yahtzee wasn't inspired by Silent Hill. Oh yeah, where's the nurses and the Pyramid Head? Well, I guess Tall Man would be Pyramid Head, wouldn't he? Open door. Evil kitchen! Look, evil kitchen. I don't understand the word kitchen. You'd think it would be the evil that you don't understand in that sentence. Once a kitchen was now some kind of torture room. Found myself wondering whether it was used for extracting information or merely to entertain the alternate hotel's hellish proprietor. Anything I could take in here? High five skeleton. That's gonna work one of these days. Look, skeleton. A horribly tormented soul was still laying on the central counter, limbs arranged oddly from spasms of agony. Sure do like the agony around here. Look, stove. It was stained from the inside with desperate handprints. They were cooked people alive. Everything was inspired by Silent Hill. Silent Hill was inspired by Silent Hill. What about this door? Open door. Nope. Save. Evil kitchen. Open door. Well, I see something. I can't high-five the skeletons. One of them had been almost completely picked clean by the beetles. The other, I noticed, was heavily decayed except for its hand, which was fresh and pink. I wonder if this has something to do with the puddle of water I was laying in. Silent Meow was inspired by Sweet Home. Oh no! Flesh-eating insects! Egad! He got Trilby'd. Nom 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 nom. Evil kitchen. Get beetled, nerd. Oh yeah? I gotta be careful with this. Paste meat. Use meat. There we go. Yeah, eat that. Eat that. Look, puddle. The far corner of the room was a puddle of water created by drips from above. It had a curious color to it. Drops seemed to glow with their own illumination. The liquid has having a strange effect on a nearby corpse. Drink puddle. It's almost as if the water was drawing me to it. Not like a scrabbling thing in my mind, like the chisel or the painting, but like a beckoning siren. I'm gonna offer those silly hints when you die. Trilby is so weak, even the bugs get the best of him. It was like the Mummy movie. They didn't have time to react. Also, how do you fight bugs that really want to eat your flesh? I couldn't help myself. I crouched down and dipped my hand in. It felt uncommonly refreshing, and brought an amount up to my lips, my unhygienic surroundings forgotten. It was a pleasant feeling of simultaneous coolness and warmth spread from my stomach. I realized the water had some kind of rejuvenating effect. Magic water! I had no explanation for this, but at the time I didn't care. I was beginning to feel in the back of my mind a familiar tickling sensation that indicated a reality shift. I swiftly scooped a few drops of the liquid into my bottle, shaking it with the remaining pills. We got super pills. We got the wine cellar. You know what we need? Wine. Take wine. I saw no reason to take it. You sure? Well, there is some Easter eggs. Evil kitchen. There are some Easter eggs with this area. Climb stairs. I only need to walk there. Open door. Did I just keep on going? Yeah, I just keep going. Okay, let's try some things. If you spam going into this area, you might get an Easter egg. What should I do next? Open door. Drink wine and get drunk. Well, we got evil insects. Take pill. Open door. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Hi, John. How you doing? No hard... I can't move from this spot. Offer John a pizza. Yes, you do, Trilby. Yes, you do. Why, Father? Why? Wait a second. Oh, okay. This is the kitchen. Okay. Square up, mate. I can't offer John a pizza now. There might be a few others here. Trilby was going all sanity effect on this one. John Defoe's last moments. Oh yeah, we're in the evil part now. Evil. Take pills. Open door. There's at least one other one. Oh! And Trilby was the demons. Just for a second. We were John Defoe. Just for a little while. Long enough to kill Philip. Open door. Well, I got super pills now. I got the super pills. Oh, the exhibition room. I think there's an Easter egg in the exhibition room. Oh, Terry, it's you. Have you seen Siobhan? I was gonna mispronunciate that. What'd you do to the girl? I hope you don't intend to seduce her away from my service. Abed, I need you to understand. You and I and Siobhan are all in critical danger. There's something evil in this hotel and it's closing in fast. Mr. Railby, we've been over this hotel several times. Apart from us, there's absolutely nothing here. Then why did you have an exhibition here? Please keep your fairy stories in the playroom where they all belong. Okay, well I am going to try and trigger a not evil. Take pills. Open door. This one's easier because I can just spam open door. Until this happens. Open door. I know there's one here. I've seen it. It's a cool one too. I even wrote it down, it was so cool. It's kind of spoilery for the game that comes after this one. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. The most annoying part is having to type out every time. Yeah, you can't save multiple. Come on, this one's really cool. I would love to show this one off. Come on, you can do it. I guess it doesn't want to do it. Damn. I took another pill. Like I said, unlimited pills. Darn it. We're out of fun levels. The fun value has to be at the proper amount to get this one, I guess. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. It was kind of a spoiler anyway. The game didn't want a spoiler, that's all. Industrial pill taking. Okay. Ask Abed about the unicorn. The unicorns. By the way, Rain! Unicorn quota met. Do you know anything about an inn called the Unicorn? Ah, you know, this my shingle. I picked it up as a curiosity from an antique fair a couple years ago. Dates all the way back to the Elizabethan period, if I understand. The first one or the second one? I can't find a buyer for the damn thing. Do you suppose any clients you might have go for it? Do I have permission to examine it? Of course. I may have to touch it to, assess its texture. By all means, do so. As long as you're not going to test the strength of your knee or anything. Okay. Touch sign. She goes design is a simple one of a unicorn's head with a half profile. Painted with an average ability on dark oak backing. It's a D&D bar. As I pressed my fingertips to it, however, the design seemed to extrude from its backing like a hologram. It seemed to draw closer until my vision was filled with wood grain and mediocre brushstrokes. I would vaguely detect the professor speaking to me on the very edge of hearing, but by the time I realized it, I was already gone. July 28th, 1581. Are you noticing a pattern? Then Trilby was the unicorn. Yeah, hey, it's me, I'm the unicorn. Out in Somerset, a traveling merchant was on his way to his wife and family in London. Having concluded some business dealings in Ceredigion. Caught suddenly by a summer storm, he spied an inn at the side of the road and marveled at his good fortune. Faith, there's an evil storm that blights the sky tonight. Aye. Must have been almighty on my side to find myself so close to an inn as it broke out. Aye, perhaps. The innkeeper seemed quite taciturn, but Owen was in a good mood and determined for it to leave him. Probably too late to continue writing, even if the storm cleared. Owen decided to inquire for a room for the night. Ask about room. Owen didn't find that relevant. Ask owner about room. Inquire room. To owner about room. Why? The unicorn was small but secure and constructed with a combination of stone and English oak. The only furniture in the reception room was a bar and a bench for seating. Sit bench. He'd rather rest on a bed than a seat. Ask about bed. To owner. To man. Not to man about bed. Come on. Why does he not think that's relevant to ask him about a bed? Buy bed. Open door. Take bed by force. Ask man for bed. Ask man for bed. Been more polite to move closer to Innkeeper to talk to him. Shut up, game! Owen didn't think that's relevant. Owen got very upset and talked to a wall. Talked to a wall. Owner for bed. Ask man for bed. Ask about room. Why? Suddenly the game became picky about what to ask him for. To man about room. Rom. Good evening, sir. Finally. Is it possible to secure a bed for tonight? Be wiser man than I. Go from this place and never return. What? There's a curse upon this inn. I will not have an innocent doomed to the same fate as I. Then why is the door unlocked? I have plenty of gold to pay for my board. The devil cannot be bought off, my friend. What devil? What is the nature of this curse? The inn was built by my father 20 years ago. The wood of a fallen oak he stumbled upon an island north of here. He noticed human bones scattered around, but did not heed them. This inn has been a curse on our bloodline ever since. Madness and death claims those who stay here. Time last year it claimed my father. Why do you have an inn? Why do you keep running this inn? You're dumb and stupid looking. So why do you remain? I do not believe in fleeing from the mistakes of the past. These are Dad's mistakes. If the Almighty wills it that my family must pay for their errors, then this I accept. Then why run an inn? Burn in. Leave now before the shadows take you. Insist about room. Sir, I have little patience for fables. Even less for writing after sundown in the middle of a downpour. Lend me a room and I shall take responsibility for my own well-being. You will insist? Not only will I insist, I will pay whatever price you ask. Go on then, take the upstairs room. And if you remain by the morn, you shall pay nothing at all. Very well. Sir, I'm giving you a bad review on Yelp when they invented about... What year was this? I didn't read. It's the 1500s? In about 700 years. Sleep bed. When you're all alone, let me sleep in your bed. Let me tell you something. Sleeping makes me feel good. The early hours of the morning, something jolted Owen from his slumber. A piercing sound? No. Piercing smell. Excuse me? Like smoke. Nothing seems to be burning in the bedroom, so smoke has to be coming from downstairs. Mention extraordinarily cheap prices in the review. I survived one night and had the room for free. Go down the stairs, you ninny. Oh no, fire! Call the fire brigade. Oh yeah, that has a different meaning back then, because call ladies. Like fire. A blaze has been set before the front door. By whom? The innkeeper? He's missing. You need to put the fire out. You don't got any water. I think there's whiskey in those barrels. Pee on the fire to put it out. I don't know. This sheet seems kind of conspicuous. Take sheet. Take a fat sheet on bed. That's the word you don't understand out of that, huh? Put out fire. Put out fire. Yeah. That was easy. What in God's name? Oh God. It's him, the innkeeper. What kind of... Who could have... Whoa, nice shot. Nice shot. That's a 10 out of 10 kill hit there. Once again I returned, disoriented from my vision. I was closing in on the source of the madness. The innkeeper had said that the wood came from a tree on an island. Could it have been Clanbronwyn Island? Given what I was seeing, it seemed like a valid, if worrying, possibility. Besides that, it seemed I had no other leads. So what would I do? I was determined not to let the trail end there. If there was just a single clue. Take paper. Maybe it has a clue. I know you're following a trail. Go to the roof if you wish to proceed, Linkman. Victim 2, the Innkeeper. The second man who decided judgment was the Innkeeper, who had brought the wood of the tree and built from it his house. The prince came to him and his guest, and he struck the Innkeeper down, and the Innkeeper knew the name of the king. I literally blinked and suddenly there was a broom or something in his head. I don't know what that weapon is, but it's potent. Tell you what, it's sharp on all edges. Sound of fire concealed the sound of decloak. It's a spy! The prince turned to the innkeeper's guest and he said, "You shall not let live. For once I have I made this warning, and still my soul aches for what is done to the wood that is my soul. And I will spare no man who injures me in this way." And the innkeeper's guest knew the name of the king. Open door. Well, Linkman told us to head to the roof. So roof we shall. Leg. Leg. I could do that just then. Show leg. Show feet pics on foot finder. I didn't understand the word feet. Take leg. There's just a leg there. Maybe there's a leg over here. Hi, Abed. Have you seen any legs? To Abed about leg. Professor, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're not going to get me a drink, shove off. Okay. Okay. Dude. Fine, I'll get you a drink. I'll get you the only wine in the house. Oh, good. I didn't turn it to John Defoe this time. Take wine. I took the wine. Perhaps this would appease the drunken professor upstairs. I'm going to try for that Easter egg a couple more times. Just 'cause. Wasn't close enough. Take a few steps down and open the door. As long as the door is opened. Oh, well, okay, this one's new. Okay. Not the one I wanted, but it's the one we got. Sanity effects. Take pill. Open door. Come on. You know the one I want. Okay, fine. Take pill. Take plea. Lots of take pill, open door. Professor, where's he gone now? You know what? We could try that soda now, because I think I know where the professor went. Because he's drunk, and obviously under some kind of distress. Drink soda. Drink cola. I wasn't sure how to. Take cola. I took the drink with me. Drink cola. I took a swig of the beverage. I could almost feel the caffeine starting to heat up my brain. Man, all those pills must have been obliterating Trilby's kidneys. So, this is a make evil world? Yeah. It just turns it into the evil world. Open door. Oh god, no, he shifted. Well, Abed is dead. Look, Abed. Abed's drunken misery has caused him to shift into the Dark Hotel. The jolly man who I'd grown fond of lay decapitated on the floor. With Siobhan's disappearance, I was now truly alone. I wonder if there's a game over by overdose. Probably not if you want to find all the Easter eggs. The professor had known nothing of the horror. He was blameless and ignorant in any matter involving Defoe Manor or cursed idol. But it seemed my dark captor cared little for these facts. Why haven't killed me, you skinny bastard? If you could do it so easily, so quickly, why won't you face me? Well, I'm kind of scared of you. You're a spooky Trilby man. Look like an archaeologist. Display a warped sense of humor, the porcelain head was sitting where our bed's old one had been. Take head. Get head. Get head. I pulled the head out of the stump, trying not to think about the wet cracking noise this caused. Ah, yeah. Open door. What about outside? Okay, you know what? Take pill. Aha! I knew it. Take arm. We got a leg, a head, and an arm. Kick a field goal. Play clarinet. Play cabinet. Not clarinet? Cabinet. You know what? We never went to our room the entire game. And I just looked over at my notes and I know I just missed a leg. I'm halfway to the room anyway, so we'll grab that. Then I have to head to the office all the way downstairs. Open door. I guess you could have done that fire escape thing from any floor, because I saw that door every floor. Take arm. Ah, yes, my emergency arm. I forgot about that. Remember that very first puzzle we saw at the very beginning of this game? Bring her back? That's what we're doing. We're bringing her back. And we're armed with Mystery Cola. Evil Cola. So basically Coca-Cola. That's why you should drink Diet. You'll end up in the spooky place. And the prince will make you learn the name of the king. Against your wishes. Foot noises. Yeah, there's another leg in here. I don't know why they would ever think you would ever want to go back in here. But there's a leg. Right there. Take leg. That's just Yahtzee. Oh, good. It's evil. It's exactly what I needed. Thank you. I needed it to be evil. Save. Thank you for evil. Ad brought to you by the Pepsi gang. Technically, I'm the A-Treat gang. They have a new flavor. Cranberry ginger ale. Now with 0% sugar. Drink wine. Yeah, we still have that wine, don't we? Lockpicks, pills, speedy cola, wine. Drink wine. I flatter myself that I am too much of a professional to drown my sorrows. Trilby's too good for that. Okay, fine, we'll bring her back. Place limbs on body. Doot, 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 doot. The body was intact. For reasons I couldn't explain, I sensed that something had changed back in the real world. What kind of ridiculous locking mechanism is this? Oh no, Trilby's getting self-aware. Abort. Suspect is aware. He knows. It's the Trilby show. Okay, take pill. As much as I like the spooky sound effects, that does not progress the puzzle. This door was locked the entire game by the body. That's why I never went up here. It's the door to the back rooms, as Blue Dragon said. Look, note. Note seemed to be another of Linkman's letters, but for some reason I felt my gaze drawn to the stone. Take rock. What does that have to do with anything? Clanbronwyn Island, July 28th, 1501. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Sleep all night and no work all day. Took us a dawn to dusk, but we finally have it down. I'm tired, Father. 'Twas indeed clever of us to investigate this island, eh, boy? I've never seen such a gigantic oak. Nor do I expect to again. There's something weird about that tree. But wood shall keep us in business carpentry for years to come. How? Father, look at these stones. Don't you think there was a house here? It matters not. Must you always look everywhere but what matters? This is your... Father? Is something troubling you, Father? Check it out, I made a puppet! Look. Will could only watch paralyzed as the demon tore into his father. Throw rock! Take rock! Throw rock! Yeah! Rock's my only weakness. Where am I? I must have shifted into the dark world during the vision. Trilby! It really was a door to the back rooms. Thank God, I thought I was all alone. What happened to you? Are we in Mexico? It's sepia-toned. You knocked me out in my room, I woke up and everything was like this. The hotel's ruined, there's blood everywhere. I saw this horrible man. Tall, thin, long black coat. You know him? Enough to know you're lucky enough to be alive. He didn't notice me, so I ran up here to hide. How did you get past the doll? What doll? Trilby, what the hell's going on? I told you what would happen to you if you followed me into the shadows. This isn't your problem. Take these. What are these? Tranquilizer pills. Take one. When you go to calm down, the hotel will be back to normal. Don't you need them? I don't need to run away anymore. Trilby, wait. Where are you going? I know enough now. I know where the wood came from. Perhaps I could find a way to end this. So I was right. The cursed wood came from Clanbronwyn Island. What good does that knowledge do me? I thought you said you knew everything. Wait a second, I never got around to reading that letter I took up from under the rock. I casually picked up every porcelain limb while I ran. Yeah, everybody has to solve that puzzle. I'm very close to ending this. Meet me in the hotel basement. I must show you my discovery, Linkman. The other page has another one of those religious papers. The Book of Victims. Victim 1, the Woodcutter. The first of those who, against whom the prince sought vengeance was the Woodcutter. He who had held the axe that first felled the tree. The prince came to him and his son, and he struck the Woodcutter down, and the Woodcutter knew the name of the king. And the prince turned to the Woodcutter's son, and he said, You I shall let live, for you are young, and you are innocent, and that you may go among your people and tell them of what I will wrought. And the Woodcutter's son fled, and told all that he'd seen, but the men of technology were arrogant, and his words were unheeded. All this because the prince was a bit of a Greenpeace fanatic. He really went a bit too far on the eco-terrorism. Turning into some kind of weird wraith. I don't even know what kind of weapon he's holding. Like, what is that? Looks like a combination of a spear and like a mace? There's like a flanged halberd. And he really liked poking people with the wrong end of it. So we have to head to the basement. We've been at the basement before. We don't have the pills anymore. I can't try for the Easter egg anymore. You'll just have to wait till 7 days of Skeptic. Which is the next game after this. It would have been a huge spoiler anyway. Open door. The bugs are gone. Save. The bugs are gone. Look, hole. The hole seems to lead to some kind of tunnel that gradually expanded into an underground cavern. Enter hole. Hello, what's this? Reality is shifting here. Look, stump. This was it, I was certain. The remains of the tree that Boyle and his father cut down. The wood later being used to construct an inn, a harpsichord, a shipping crate, and an idol. That's totally not menacing at all. I feel the same scrabbling in my mind that I'd felt just before all my visions. This time it was the stump itself that seemed to be beckoning me closer. This might be a bad idea, but let's touch stump. Clynbronwyn Peninsula, July 28th, 55 BC. We've seen this in a few places. 287. 28th of the 7th month. Cabadath, a Celtic druid, awaits the return of his friend and colleague Galden, who brings news of the invasion of Anglesey by the Roman Suetonus Paullinus. I don't remember that guy. Is it an Easter egg where you spawn in a large room with nothing in it but a small black box? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. It's like Yahtzee had that planned in advance or something. Having fallen out of favor with his fellows for certain radical beliefs and activities, Cabadath lives in solitude in his remote forest clearing. Prefers not to travel himself. Cabadath, Galden, you bring news? The foreigners have landed. They could not be deterred by our sorcery. We tried Thornwhip and everything. Certain, are you? They're making their way across the land, eliminating resistance. Mark is here. I think this game came out after the others to fill in the gaps. Well, that would explain why it's 2007. The great druids of Anglesey bowed it so easily to this brash foreign power. Do not hang your head yet, my friend. Perhaps the utilities for which I was ostracized could spell the answer. What are you talking about? You won't know my dealings with the ethereal realm? I know what you claim, that there exists some otherworldly territory populated by demons and creatures of magic. That you, Cabadath, can somehow commune with these creatures. Come inside, and I will explain. Oh wait, I saw this room! Cabadath, what is this madness? In my dealings with the ethereal realm, I have learned of many powerful demons and elementals. But there is one spoken of only reluctantly, a beast possessing awesome power. You plan to summon a demon? Most terrible of them all, who strikes fear into even the most unflappable creatures I have spoken with. A pain elemental. Indeed, the only pain elemental, ruler of a desolate wasteland where none venture. An invulnerable, hugely potent beast that feeds on the agony of others. They're gonna summon Tingle? The day when the boundaries between the realms weaken and he glimpses into our world. I bring him forth at that moment should be simple. Even if you could conjure such a thing, how would you have it defend our land? I have much knowledge in the ways of magic. With correct bindings, any demon could be forced to my will. Actually, this is where I was summoned. You're correct, Mark. On that note, the other playthrough did Skeptic and then Notes, but otherwise a fun watch. You really should do Skeptic after this, considering you might run across that scene. And also, this explains like a lot of stuff. You shall see your nonsense soon enough. This hall of death, and by the light of Belenius' gift, I summon you. I bring you gifts to mark your path. I feed you with pain. I call you with madness. I summon you with the greatest loss. And I bind you by your true name, Chzo. By the gods, I have reached out to you across the void, Chzo. I command you by your true name. Show yourself. Cabinath, please stop this. Show yourself. Here, big boy. It's huge! It's larger than I anticipated. But Chzo must obey the rules of magic. It's bound! I can control it. Wait. It's not the bird people at all! I'm totally incorrect! Golden, help me! Forgive me, Cabinath. No! Golden, I beg you! Don't let it take me alive! Chzo, of course, has no use for meat. It feeds on pain. It does not kill its prisoners. Oh, that's sinister. Why does the demon have the same name as the birds from Metroids? Let her off. Pecked around and found out, yeah. Cabinath's agony was a particularly rare morsel, and Chzo ensured it would last. His soul was placed inside an oak sapling at the site of his own home, to grant his body immortality. For 5 centuries, as the tree grew, he knew torment beyond his most depraved imaginings. By then his body was warped, and his mind long fallen to soulless dementia. He was Chzo's, utterly and completely his slave. Trilby! Shivan! You're supposed to leave! I couldn't. I bet the professor. He's dead. I know. He was killed by the shadows. Just like they will kill you if you don't get away from here. What is this place? The cave is the center of the reality shift. Is it the stump that's causing it all? How? It is the vessel for the soul of the tall man. The acolyte of Chzo. Linkman. Nice to see a friendly face. Amazing, isn't it? Of all the things Sir Roderick could have used to murder his son, and he chose that idol. Placing the soul of John Defoe into the wood alongside Cabinath's. Infusing the poor retard with Chzo's magic. Allowing him to come back infinitely more powerful than before. Again, it was 2007. Certainly pretty lucky. Lucky? Chzo had to wait 2,000 years for that opportunity. The opportunity to blend magic and science into a single entity. The opportunity to create the bridge. What are you talking about? The bridge between the realms. Over which Chzo will cross into our universe and purify mankind. Our order has waited 200 years for the prophecy to be fulfilled. You're not with the Ministry of Occultism. Who are you? 200 years ago, the prophet Jack Frehorn founded the Order of the Blessed Agonies. Since then, you have grown and watched and waited. It's only the recent years that the events foretold in the Book of Chzo began to occur. It mentioned John Defoe, and it mentioned you. Me? You're the one prophesied to guide the Bridgekeeper to his destiny. But you didn't finish the job. All three aspects of John Defoe had to be destroyed to create the bridge. Body, mind, and soul. You only destroyed his body. His soul and mind remained. Had I known about this, I wouldn't even done that. They would truly disappoint my superiors. They were quite adamant that I should try to persuade you to join our cause and fulfill your foretold duty. Is that why you were helping me? They thought if I guided you through your visions and showed you the appropriate passages of our holy book, then you'd understand the prophecy is real. You honestly believed I joined some insane cult because you handed me some leaflets? Personally, no. Stab. A knife to my gut brought an explosion of ice-cold agony. I heard the pitter-patter of my blood on the rocky floor. Not everybody likes agonies, man! I blame it all on the English colonizers, says Nerdell. Yeah, there sure is a lot of that going on, huh? Can we pay the demon rupees so we can go away? No. The pain, the surprise, and my exhaustion went together to cause immediate unconsciousness. Why did they always go for the stomach? To keep him alive. I woke to find myself splayed upon the stump, blood still slowly leaking from my wound. In my injured state, I could barely move. My limbs refused to respond. I was as weak as a newborn. Question, does this cult have a lamb? Oh good, you're awake! Now I can show my true form. He takes off the mask, it's the lamb. After your staggering ineptitude in Defoe manner, the Order needed to nudge things along. We needed a connection to Chzo to administrate his coming. Today might be the only opportunity we have all year to summon the Tall Man. You're going to bring that thing into our world? The standard ritual of blessed agonies and an offering. After he takes your life, he'll be grateful to us. And then he will guide us to our destiny. So why did you stab me? If I'm already dead by the time he gets here. You won't be. Men like you, Trilby, die on your own terms. They don't weakly let their life slip away for one measly knife wound. Hush now. Capidat is coming. Save. PECK. Look, Linkman. The treacherous cultist was wandering around the stump in a manner that was, I suppose, was relevant to his ritual. Look, Saban. I could not see Saban, no, Shiban. But I could hear her trying to moan through a gag. Oh my. I call thee, Capidat, from the wood that is your soul. I call thee from the north. Look, book? Oh, no, that's not a book. That's a coat. Strangely, my first thought was division of the repair and laundry bill. Oh, Trilby. Now's not the time for that. I call thee from the east. Look idle. I stared blankly. Touch idle. I couldn't do that just then. Dorp kick. Drop kick Linkman. I call thee from the south. Jump to the height. That's how you spell height. Of 6 feet. Go complete. Heck. I wanted him to jump to the height of 6 feet, go completely horizontal, and kick him in the next week. I called thee from the west. Save. Heck. You'll never wash the bloodstain off, oh geez. Oh, Spooky Man. Spooky Man. Struggle. Fight! My attempts to move only made things worse. I felt a stab of pain as something snapped behind my eyes, filling my vision with spots. Reality flits from realm to realm, tormented, confused. End this madness. We may bring thee to us. Kick! I was losing blood steadily. My arms and legs were limp and responsive. I couldn't move. I hope I give Chzo indigestion. Breakdance. Kal Ichiban. Fight! He wouldn't move. I could do that just then. Yakuza reference? Oh, yeah! Spooky man. Listen, summoning things is probably not the best plan right now. Stop ritual. Stop the ritual. Kick idol. I present thee with blessed agonies. Body, mind, and soul. Pain was now replaced with an ice-cold numbness that was spreading fast. The room was swimming before my eyes. Eat pills. Perhaps I should try rephrasing that. Eat a fat one. You don't have pills anyway. Oh, Speedy Cola! Drink Speedy Cola. I took a swig of the beverage. I could feel the caffeine begin to heat up my brain. That didn't help! Trilby can't do anything. Peck. Grow a beak and peck. Damn. Tried. Maybe it would spontaneously turn into a bird. It's becoming harder and harder to breathe. Air riddled in and out of my lungs like a buzzsaw. Ah, crap. Kick tall man. No! Bad end! Be very bad for Linkman if you did one little thing. He just told you what you needed to do here. He was right, though. Trilby wouldn't die easily. He was right. Trilby wouldn't die easily. Or... could he die? Not yet, but I was pretty close. Wait. Why not? Die now. It didn't let me do the thing. You might be boned here. What do you mean? I know you do it right after the man appears officially. Just aggravate your injury sooner in the ritual. So, load an earlier save, right? That's why I have multiple PECKs. This is good. It's kind of mean that it makes you do a lot of nonsense inputs. Peck. Fight. Up kick. Suplex. Suplex Linkman. Punch. You're looking for the line, only my stubborn will was keeping me alive. Get up. Hurt. It hurts. Hurt Linkman. One aggravation is needed. After that, you need to wait for the line. Is that when it snaps, or is that a sword there? Rescue Siobhan. Get up! The idol. Well, I did that part. I looked at the idol. The idol. If you want some added lore, ask Linkman about the Prince, Chzo, me, him, and Suban. Ask Linkman about Prince. Why are you summoning the Tall Man? What possible use could he be to you? You've been experiencing flashbacks, I know. You saw Cabinet's attempt to summon Chzo, yes? I saw that he failed quite drastically. He assumed our lord would be summoned with any old basic demon summoning rites. But Chzo is far greater and far more powerful than his rivals. He's very nearly a god of pain. He has a great amount of magic and a much more complex ritual to summon one such as he. We do not know it, but the Tall Man does. He will guide us and teach us. Get up. How many more inputs do I need to make before that thing happens? The room is swimming before his eyes. Punch. Kick. Spam. Time, not inputs. What time is the appropriate time? And present thee with the blessed agonies. Body, mind, and soul. And the line appears. The line about his air rattling? Because I tried that. This one? Is it this one? This is so poorly communicated. Yeah, but I haven't seen that one yet. I wanted to trigger that one. Get up. Look, Linkman. Look, Tall Man. Go back to the start of the rituals and wait. Oh. Oh, so this is Bork 2 then. Load. So we go to the bugs are gone. Give up. Oh, she's so good at this game. Enter hall. Well, we get to see him get kidnapped by Chzo again. Let's stop. He's gonna get grabbed by the spooky man, the spooky Cthulhu. I kind of mean of Yahtzee to do that. I love the puzzle. It's such an interesting way to save all. I don't know. It would have been better if it was communicated that Trilby needs to take a bunch of bleeding damage before the tall man shows up. That would be very helpful. Cabinet's got the worst of it all. Okay, Linkman, stab me. Put that knife in there. Put that knife in there. Stab me, Daddy. Yay! I'll save this at PECK. Save. PECK. Okay. Now try to attack Linkman. Attack Linkman. Well, I got the snap. Move. Look idle. Get idle. Look waistcoat. I'll just go. Stop entering commands. You told me... You told me I have to, like, hurt. You told me I have to hurt. Tankman. Aggravate it once. Oh, so am I good now, then? I'm good now. I did the thing. Is that correct? The numbness is spreading. So I can't speed up the process. It's now a time-based thing. I'll save this at triple PECK. Trilby is stubborn, even if he wants to. He can't die until it's almost too late. Air is getting harder and harder to breathe. Okay, that happened a lot sooner. That happened a lot sooner. Before, that was happening just as the guy was starting to appear. Like, right before he was going to step on the stump. That is still a really dumb way to do the puzzle. Here it is. The vision was clouding up around the edges. It seems like my stubborn will was the only thing keeping me alive. Damn it, he's right! They put die now. But I want it to be dramatic! Just like the Death Star, we have to blow up the Death Star right as they're about to fire the weapon on Yavin 4 or whatever the hell. We have to stop the evil plan at the very last moment. Right as soon as he appears. If you try enter anything after dying, you get the arc words. It hurts. Oh yeah? Die. I died. He's dead? No! This is not possible! Master? Master! Please, no! No! Ah! Trilby? Who dat? Go back, Trilby. Leave me alone. I'm dead. Not yet. Not fully. Your mind and soul are drifting apart from your body. With enough power, there's still time to pull them back. You must have the will to return. Forget it. I've had enough. I did the assignments, I made myself useful, I lived up to the reputation the foam mana gave me. Today, I gave everything I could, and I still died. There's still work to be done. You have not completed your duty. I'm sick of duty. I'm sick of prophecy. Just let me sleep. Stronger men than you have tried to fight destiny. None succeed. Past, present, and future are all different faces of the same die, and few can see them all at once. But I can, and the future demands that you live. Who are you? Return now. I have marked the path. Please, just let it end. Pleading to me is useless. I'm as much of a prisoner of fate as you. The future your actions are determined, are destined to bring about, has already taken place. Without your parts, I would not be here to restore you to life. So you see, by your mere presence, your decision is already made. Who are you? A murderer, and a madman, and a puppet of forces neither of us could possibly comprehend. Oh, it would have been nice if the heartbeat thing was a Trilby hat. That would have been best. Your life! Oh God, I don't even know how I was doing it properly. I did it! You're alive! Where's Lakeman? The tall man took him. He did something horrible to him. And he took him away. Where's my waistcoat? Shh, don't talk. I've already called for an ambulance. She used it as a tourniquet. See that wooden idol? Yeah? Bring it with us. Wrap it tightly in clothes and bring it with us. Do not let it touch your bare skin. Okay. And then suddenly the sound of a saw comes in from my window. And now it sits across from me. The reality shift had cleared up and we were free to leave. An STP cleanup crew arrived with the ambulance. No trace of a bed or hotel staff was found. Officially, they've been classified as unexplained disappearances. Lakeman and the tall man seem to have also vanished, which does not surprise me in the least. Siobhan signed the Official Secrets Act, and last I heard she is staying with her parents to recuperate. It just leaves me to write up my notes, with the idol that haunts my dreams gazing at me from across my desk. I was dead. I can't pretend I wasn't. No amount of CPR would have brought me back from where I was. So who did it? The man in red? Who was he, if not an insane hallucination and brain death? Unimportant. I'm alive, and that's all that matters. Just that and the destiny of this wretched statuette that I'm apparently fated to carry out. Congratulations on temporarily preventing the destruction of humanity. Thank you. Every instinct in my being wants to burn it to ashes and grind them into the dirt, but I do not. Lakeman spoke of prophecy, that the destruction of John Defoe's soul would somehow help him, and his orders summon their dark god. If I destroy this idol, they win! But what else can I do? I certainly can't keep it. I know, from experience, that it leaks malevolent influence like a broken pipe leaks water. The only other option is to hide it, but where can I hide such a thing to ensure that it's never found again by human hands? Then he finds a place and a bird finds it. Oh no! I shall have to think about this. 2/9/7/1997. The fulfillment of the prophecy continues. The rival for the summoning of Chzo will go ahead, also ritual. Events have been set in motion that cannot be stopped. We have the blood of the guide. Now we must wait. Wait and prepare. Honestly, Yahtzee would probably agree, skip the next game. Easily the worst of the bunch. I know 6 days of sacrifice is pretty terrible, but we gotta see the entire Chzo mythos. So we gotta see 7 days a skeptic, which is next. Also, I'm not gonna read all this because you could read. Sacrifice is also the last of the chronology. Yeah. That will happen the week before Halloween. We'll be on 6 days of sacrifice, where all of this will come to a head. But there's one more event that happens before this. And it's a place you wouldn't expect, with a person that is not Trilby. This was 2007 when he made this. Then Trilby, the Art of Theft happened, because he wanted to explain more about who Trilby was, and his fight against a shadow organization. Then he goes to Clan the Foe Manor. Then he goes to Clan Bronwyn Hotel, and then he goes missing. I'm glad I could help. Yeah, you've been a pretty good help, especially with that last part. I would have not thought of doing that. In the space with a person in a place. And things happen in that place, and somebody's a skeptic, of course. So this was explaining all about the prophecy. They took Cabadath, they put him in a tree. The tree got tortured because Cabadath was the arrogant man, and he tried to control Chzo. And Chzo said, no man, now you're the demons. And then there was a harpsichord, and an inn, and a crate, and then the idol. And that's how John Defoe got into the idol. That's why touching the idol summons John Defoe, which is kind of a loose end from the last game, wasn't it? Set your PC calendar to July 28th before finishing it. Why? What's going to happen? I don't know how to set my calendar to 28th. How do I set calendar? Adjust date and time. Okay. Set time automatically? No. Change. It is now July 28th, 2023. Summer is just heating up. There we go, 7:28. Now Trilby went down from that dinky of a knife. What a pansy. Also, chat got disconnected. Is my stream still working? Is my stream still working? I changed the date and everything went wonky. Please try again later. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what have you done? You're currently signed out. Uh-oh. You crashed my Firefox. We can still see you. Well, I can't see myself. Okay. Okay. How about we don't do that? How about we don't do that? Is it working now? Oh, we're back. Okay. Yeah, never do that again. That killed my Firefox, turning it to July 28th. So you're just going to have to find out what happens on your own. Play this game on July 28th. Or just change your calendar when the credits are done. But no, don't do that again. I have to fix like a billion things now. That was the real curse! Disregard that Steam message. Stream messages if you've got it. In 6 Days a Skeptic, that's one in space. Are you sure about that? Nothing happens in space. My phone almost did a Trilby. It was too stubborn. Windows doesn't like when you screw with the date and time. In 6 days, make sure the PC is set to July 28th. But I don't think I'd be able to stream that now. We saw what happened. We saw what happened. And I don't want to mess with the calendar anymore. Deceased Crab showed it. Oh, on the 6 days? Yeah, you could go see Deceased Crab then, because my computer is not going to tolerate messing with the time. Also, that's the people to blame. Fully Rambo-matic production. AKA Yahtzee. I wonder if he has an interview section on this. No? No, there's no interview on this one. Well, that was Trilby's notes. That was one of the best. It is the best one. The crab almost made AC's computer deceased. There's a gag ending of the wielder having an interview with the main character. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Nice gag. But I won't be able to do that gag if we got to it. Because, obviously we saw what happened. We saw what happened. But this has been Trilby, the Art of Theft. No, not Trilby, the Art of Theft. This has been 5 days of No, this has been 6 days of Thief. 5 Nights at Freddy's. Oh, it's right there. Trilby's notes. Yes. That was Trilby's notes. Next week, next Wednesday, more Night in the Woods. It's almost Harfest. Got one more hangout to do. Time travel, am I right? What a way to end the stream, right? What a way to end the stream. Keep running through the names. Process of elimination, you'll get it eventually. This was Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Wait, no. Chimera Land. No. Toem. No. Beastie Ball Demo. No. Yakuza Like a Dragon? No. Star Trek Online? It's one of them. Good night, everybody. More Trilby next week. No, not Trilby. More spooky.